backed the Americans there to help save Canada in that war that we won. We beat the Americans in the War of 1812. But his home, Francois Baby's home, is treasured in Windsor, southwestern Ontario. But the dude owned slaves, and a lot of people didn't know that. And you bumped into that piece of fact there and did some work on that. So here's an example of Miss Canadiana now intervening with bringing forward. So here's a more political application, I guess, in some ways, more distinctively political. But it's the same thing as you being Miss Canadiana too. So explain the confluence of those two things, Miss Canadiana and the baby.
Oh dear me,
the baby dollhouse, as I'm calling it.
I'm trying to pull these things together myself, and it's but it's a good question. How do these things come together?
You read about you got the research, you knew you read about it.
Afua
But we read
Cooper
about a lot of
is,
things. Right?
I know, but Afua Cooper is the person who really sort of brought me into the consciousness that Black history in Canada goes back 400 years. You know, so I was doing a project here in Toronto actually, about around Dundas and Spadina. This was a Black settlement for many, many years. And I knew that there had been a Black community there right up till the 60s. You know, oh gosh, Marcus Garvey's
The UNIA.
UNIA was
Negro Improvement
exactly,
Association.
So college and
Augusta, right?
Augusta,
Started in 1919 as the Colored Literary Society and then became Marcus Garvey's group, the UNIA.
There you go. So there's all these really rich Black histories. A lot of this has not been written, recorded.
True.
It's not a part of the fabric of Toronto, the way Toronto sees itself. And I was really interested in these stories. I'd met these people who grew up there, spent an amazing time just like hearing their stories, and it was really great. And I wanted to know more about the historical aspects of this community, so I brought Afua into the project. I was so surprised at what she was giving me, because she was not just going back to the 50s and 60s, she was going way back to 1793. And one of the thing that really kind of shocked me was the way Canadian history just totally erases these stories.
Like we were never there.
Yeah. It wasn't like we weren't written in. It was as if we just never were there.
Just came to the country like the newest Black immigrant.
Exactly. And so this whole idea of this empire, but there's no builders, you know, of the empire.
And no servants.
And it's funny too. I've come across this archive of posts by Canadian slave owners in these old magazines, newspapers, like the Halifax Herald, the Montreal Gazette, the Upper Canada Gazette. There's like upwards there's probably like 100 of them at least, and these are all posts by people selling their slaves.
They used to advertise a lot.
Oh yeah, they did. So there's people selling their slaves. There's people. There's slaves that ran away, and one of the things that you'll never see in these ads is the word slave. It would say something like, "For sale, a Negro wench." Oh yeah. And so This is what I've sort of tapped into, that I'm sort of working to animate right now.
Them slavers are always euphemistic, right? Up to today, right?
You know, it's true, very much so.
You want to take a break?
Oh, okay, we'll take a break.
Oh my God, I'm just like sweating.
She had one. We just maybe two more questions, right? We talk about the Pan Am thing, and then what's up next?
But we didn't even finish the Bobby house.
The who?
It's Bobby house.
The baby. Sorry, Bobby.
Bobby in French.
Yeah. She was calling baby. You need to say shit to me.
God.
You got this one?
Okay.